came out for the start of quarter, start of halves really well, and then maybe, some, I don't want to call it lag time, but kind of slowed down at the after. What was your view from the bench?
Just, I think sometimes when we get out to a quick start, we think it's going to be a lopsided win. So we really just focus on offense. And then we get really careless and undisciplined defensively. And then teams will show you who they are, and they capture the momentum of the game, and they make you pay.
Coach Fernandez talked about how he wanted to come out and control the third quarter. Said he pretty sure the halftime speech to your team was pretty lit a fire into them. How did that conversation at halftime go between you and your team?
Oh, no lighting of any fires. I think it's. I mean, I get straight to the point. We're undisciplined. We started reaching, we started gambling, and once we got back to just being our disciplined style of play, we can create our own momentum, and I thought we did that.
I know it sounds really simple, but you've talked a lot about layups this year, just needing to hit those. You had your season high today in layup percentage. How much easier is it to design an offense when just the simple stuff's going down like that?
It makes life easier. It surely does. I think if we didn't make as many layups today at a pretty efficient clip, they could have made it interesting because they did a really good job at intentionally, and that's the way they play. They take the air out of the ball, not so to speak, but they're moving. They make you play for 20, 25 seconds in the shot clock. So they take possessions away. If we're not as efficient as we were, they could have made it interesting. So we try to pick our spots and speed the game up, pressing a little bit, just keeping them off balance a little bit. I thought we did a really good job with that.
Going off of that and just kind of in the paint production and the half-court offense, I guess, what did you see, what did you like in, not just that Sanaya, Joyce were hitting layups, but just kind of how Chloe was seeing them pow, things like that, just the whole units as a whole?
I mean, there were times when we just really played connected basketball. We really found the best shot on the floor, and we need to continue to do that in longer stretches. That's what it was. I think one of the first plays of the game, Fagan catches the ball outside the paint. Like, why? Like, the play is set for you to get 2 feet in the paint, seal your man. We give you the ball. You have nothing else to think about besides putting the ball in the hole. So, once we got to getting them the ball in the paint with 2 feet in the paint, they were real efficient, and if we can steal some moments like that throughout the game, it just helps decrease the amount of pressure that our offense has to perform at a high clip.
Dawn, is some of what you're seeing out of your team, is it distressing to you at this point that you can look as good as maybe you did against TCU and then, come in and have some issues? Yeah,
you get greedy. You think they have it. Like, this is it. Like, this is how we're gonna. This is our norm now, our standard, and then you backslide a little bit, and it's just that fight. You just got to continue to fight for the way that we need to play, no matter who we're playing, and it's impactful basketball. So they're young though. They don't, they fall victim to just the crowd, pleasing the crowd. Just offensively, they get really up for, making baskets. They forget about how we build our lead, and we build our lead on what we were able to do defensively.
Your post players combined for over 50 points. We've talked about it earlier before the season started. It's hard to replace Camilla. How much confidence does it give the coaching staff to see what they did today and come all together in the production they had?
Well, we've been really intentional about getting them the ball. I mean, really, really intentional. I think earlier in the season, we were pretty guard heavy in what we were doing and the amount of shots that we were taking, and we weren't giving them as many looks as we needed to give them. So we've been working on being intentional about getting them the ball, and they've done a great job at just moving the chain when it comes to their production, from a rebounding, from a defensive standpoint, and now offensively it's starting to click for some of them.
Hey, Coach. One thing Coach Fernandez credited you all for is your depth. Can you talk about the benefit of having that depth, but also the challenge of making sure everyone does get quality time?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about that in the locker room after the game. It is, I mean, we play consistently 10, which is hard, right? We got 13, so the 3 other players that don't play, you know, they just sat for 38 minutes. And then we put them in, and our expectation is, you know, you don't give up any points and you push the lead forward. That's our expectation. It's hard though, to sit there for that long and not get any run. But I say for the 10 players, it's hard as well, because if someone's got it going on, more times than not, we're gonna play them till the cows come home, right? That means somebody's minutes are shrinking. Like, I looked at the stat sheet at halftime. Chloe played 6 minutes. I'm like, I gotta get her minutes back. So she played a little bit longer in the third period than she normally does. Joyce played a little bit less, but Joyce, got minutes, 13 minutes in the first half. So it's, you really have to explain to young people that that's how it is, or else they'll think I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm playing bad, and that's the furthest from it. Like, it's, and I have to catch myself and say, hey, I got to explain this. Breezy was playing about 15, 16 minutes, and I had to ask her, like, how you feeling? She's like, I'm fine. It's Breezy. She's always gonna have a positive. And I'm like, how do you feel about your minutes? And she was like, well, I'm not playing as much. I said, you're not, but they're lean minutes. They're not like, and you're not doing anything that's forcing me to sit you. It's just, other play. Lay was playing better. Like, Lay, the more she plays, like she plays, sometimes it leads to less minutes for Breezy or Tessa or Powell. So it's not anything wrong with what they're doing. It's more about what their competitors are doing, and it's a healthy competition. It's a healthy thing that's happening on our team, because it's a moving target. Like, it's not like one person. It's multiple people that are playing well. Thank you.